Welcome back to Tidy Room Hangout. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with another review. This time I want to talk to you about the NewAge Manero. This is the EX version, and it's actually a really cool looking vehicle, really cool looking bot, interesting transformation. And I did get this to Show Z. You can get yours also. I'll have a link in the description. Let's get right into this. Box, it looks good. It looks so retro. Like, this feels G1. I like the way they did that. The back, not so much. But the top, the sides, and the front. Really nice box. I could get with having a whole bunch of boxes like this. So the big difference between this figure and all the other versions, well, I think this is the third version, I guess, I don't know, is it has all of the extra paint apps on it. So you have this racing stripe. Instead of like two colors, it's 4 or 5 different stripes. It looks like some vents painted on there. It says Martini Racing. Does have clear windows except the back's painted. So it's kind of a breakup there, which it doesn't really bother me. Actually, I kind of like the cool looking paint right there. But I don't know, I'm torn. I don't know if the actual windshield looks better. It does kind of look more real world, doesn't it? Says Martini on the side. Let's get that to focus. Does look pretty good. Number 4. I like the gold on the rims. Looks okay underneath. I mean, you can tell it's a transformer, but from like a distance, you almost would think that doesn't even transform. It's got such clean lines. It's tight. I do have the speakers in it, so I mean, I could show it to you without the speakers in it, and it looks good even without the speakers on it. That's an awesome looking alt mode, I have to admit. So here are some comparisons to this guy. So this would be the DX9's cup. This is the Iron Trans version, so like McFan's toy is just way bigger. So let's move this out of the way. This is Iron Factory. So that's kind of a size comparison right there, what you would see if you're gonna store them in alt mode. Let's get into the fun transformation with this guy. It's pretty simple. Let's go ahead, fold these over, which will disconnect them, that tab there, and then you can move it back like that. We can work on the top to get the arms out of the way. And they're gonna clear this. And so with that, we got to get the head pushed up. Get it out of the way. Disengage this top part here, and then fold it up and over. Up and atoms. Now it's kind of forming this waist piece. We need to move the wheels all the way underneath. There we go. All right, and then fold these legs, these pieces out of the way so we can get the waist piece in together. We got the waist piece. Now it's split the legs, and we're gonna work on the legs down here. Open that up so this piece can rotate all of the way down to where it needs to go. Lift this piece here up, and then we're gonna fold this. On the back here, we have to get the clearance. And then we have to create the foot. And there it is. Next, leg. So we're gonna do pretty much the same thing over here. Fold down the foot. Now this is on a bit of a slider. I guess I'm not showing that very well. There's a slider in here for this. So, anyway. We're going to fold all this down, and it should fold right into this cavity, and if it's not, you gotta get the slider just right for it to fold. Into that cavity just right. There it is. Fold this top piece down and create the foot once again. And we basically have him, got to straighten up the arms a little bit. And we got this little guy in his robot mode. We're going to have a good look at him real quick. So here is this little guy. And I have to say, he looks really good. Definitely a Jazz. You know who that is. So let's have a look at his face. He's got his painted visor, silver painted face, looks nice. You've got a lot of stuff that carries over from the alt mode. Paint everywhere, just everywhere on this little guy. Part of the reason of the cost is the extreme amount of paint they put on him in the paint apps. Down here we got paint right here. The little chest is all covered with paint, or I guess the abdominal area. Then going down, just nice little details all through here. Just looks really good. It all carries over from the alt mode. Back's pretty clean, just like really clean. I like how the gap's filled right there with the side panels. So that really works out. And he does have that kind of back of his head piece in the way. It's just part of the transformation. You see that in several different Jazz versions. Not in all of them though. Yeah, definitely a good looking figure. Let's have a look at his gun. And it's not painted at all. It's just kind of like a flat gray plastic. But that works. I would have liked these to be kind of more of a shiny silver, but that's just a personal preference. Still looks great. So for articulation, he does go side to side, up and down on the head. Shoulder can go out to a 90 and all the way around. And then you have ball jointed, which I was kind of surprised to see a ball joint, but ball jointed elbow. But it does everything you need it to, and the hands actually do move. Some Legends figures' hands don't move. No skirt flaps. Does have a nice waist swivel, which is fine. And beyond a 90 to the front, almost to the back, and you have with the knee right about a 90. And you can do a broken leg scenario too. If you wanted to, you do have thigh swivel. They work that in. NewAge does a lot with that articulation. And of course you have the ankle tilt or ankle pivot and the toe tilt. So all that is there for articulation. All right, so getting into size comparisons, this is next to it a McFans Toys, and then next to that we're gonna put Toy World. So I've been saying all along Toy World is about the size of NewAge, and I'm wrong. NewAge is drastically smaller. Although it looks amazing and it is outstanding, it's drastically small. A lot of people might even call this Legends minus. So now I'm kind of seeing how small they were. I just assumed he'd be about this size. So that's news to me. But anyway, he still looks good, and I'll make him work on the shelf. He'll fit. And here he is with, that is Iron Factory and Magic Square. And so, you know, he should be, these two should be about the same size. Maybe he could be a little taller. And so, but I could live with that. That doesn't look too bad, but I feel like he's a little undersized myself. So it really is, you know, beauty in the eye of the beholder. I think it always boils down to how do you feel he scales with whatever prime you have. And I think that scale works okay. I can live with that. I mean, that's actually the same as the Masterpiece scale, if you could live with that. I always felt like Masterpiece Carbots were undersized, so you know, I think that this is a good size for a Carbot. So maybe just a little bigger would have been nice. And isn't that a nice little group shot? On a shelf, it just really doesn't look that bad mixed all in. Legends figures are, well, they're more or less mini Masterpiece figures, but got a bit of an issue because some of the Masterpiece aesthetic that we get from a Masterpiece figure isn't in this figure. So you see the wings that you would see on both the Make Toys version and on this version. This is the Toy World's Jazzy, and I think Zeta's Jazz is exactly the same. Have these wings in place. So that is missing here because it's kind of the way they do the transformation tucks into the legs. So that's one thing. The other thing is this figure is lacking a shoulder cannon accessory that you get with the Make Toys, and I'm not sure. I think that Jazz has one. Like, this is the shoulder cannon he's holding. I gotta look into that. It's been a long time since I've done anything with Jazzy, but he's missing a couple things. Still, he's cool for a Legends shelf, just not quite like something that I would say would be Masterpiece level just yet. You can put his little speakers on like we have with the Make Toys version, and I think Jazzy has it too. I just got to get the box out and dig through his accessories. But yeah, that's another thing that you can do with this guy. This is the NewAge Manero, the EX Extra Paint Edition version, and he looks really good. Not quite something I would say is Masterpiece level good, but really close actually. It fills in the gaps. Transformation's okay. Looks great. You know the character is kind of missing the back side wings because of the way the transformation is, and didn't come with an accessory for a cannon. If that's the thing that you want, who cares really? If you don't care for that, then it's not an issue for you. If you do care for that, it might be an issue for you. But overall, I think this is the best one on the market. Any of the NewAge Jazzes are great. They're fine. Just a bit small for my collection, although until something better comes along, and I don't know why McFans Toys hasn't KO oversized it. I think they really need to get on top of KO oversizing some stuff. They only seem to mess with Magic Square these days, so I wonder if there's something with NewAge why they're not doing it, because they did do a lot of DX9 stuff. But anyway, like, subscribe, and you can get yours at Show Z. Tell you I'm hanging out.